Hey friends, it's Dan Brzezinski from All About Mini Bikes, and I'm here with Ray Machrina from he's not from All About Mini Bikes, I am. He's from LIL Indian Mini Bikes, okay? And Ray, you got a heck of a history on All About Mini Bikes because you were a mini bike creator, right? You and your brothers.
Right.
Can you give us a bit of history about the mini bikes, and especially you guys started what, in the late 50s, 59 or 60?
59.
In 1959, so it's the most amazing story. And just guys here out of Michigan that were kind of like the Henry Fords of the mini bike industry.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that, Ray?
Well, it started in 1959.
Year I was born.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was born in 59, January.
We had, there was my two brothers, and my youngest brother was still in high school. And then there was my middle brother. And we were racing go-karts, and we were making some parts for Ruttman's.
Okay.
And
just out of your house, out of your basement or something?
Out of the garage.
Out of the garage, all right.
Yeah, and we were just doing that to get the money to race on the go-karts.
All right.
But then Troy Ruttman, who won Indianapolis in 1952, he come home one day from California, and he had a little frame with him. And he says, "Here, do something with this. See what you can do." Well, we put it together, and it handled terrible. So we designed our own. And
now you and your two brothers, so the three of you designed something, right? Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
because we had a shop. We used to work on cars and everything. And we designed this one and built it and took it over to him. Boy, he was real happy with it. He bought it. And then after that, 1959, we built 10 of them. And
10 of those frames you did, right?
The whole bike.
The whole bike?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, the whole bike. And sold it to Ruttman's. They had a go-kart shop. That was right. But then in the next year, we built 100 of them. And so after that, my youngest brother, he went into it. He was working on it full time. And but we rented a place, and we moved everything over there, and it was jammed. We only stayed there a couple of months.
Now you're making these bikes for Ruttman, though, correct?
Yeah.
Got this?
Well, yeah. Now the 100 was more than they could sell.
Okay.
So we advertised in Boys Life.
Yeah, I love that magazine.
Yeah. And we started selling them. Well, we used to sell them for, I think it was $100 for a kit.
Ah, yeah, I wish we had that these days, eh?
Yeah, right. And that was everything there.
Yeah, wow.
And so we went from this little shop out to a bigger place. And we had it jam-packed, but we hired another guy. And there was 3 of us in there. We were making them. And then we only stayed there a year. And then we moved out to a new building. And we were on the way then. And meanwhile, my middle brother decided he didn't want to be in it, so we bought him out by buying him a pickup truck.
What a deal!
Yeah. And so it was just Regis and I.
Yeah.
And then he decided he wanted to make snowmobiles. That was the next thing. Well, I agreed with that, but we were just getting the mini bikes going. By this time there was 2 or 3 manufacturers, but they all looked like ours.
Yeah.
And I bought him out. I think I paid $20,000 to him.
Well, that's probably a lot of money back in the 60s, for sure.
Oh,
that's a lot of money. I know my dad bought a brand new car for like $2,500, a station wagon.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So he went on to build snowmobiles, and I built the bikes. And then we designed our own brake. We designed the wheels and so on. And we used Briggs and Stratton engines. Yeah, we started out with Clinton engines, and we used to go to the factory and buy a pallet of them and bring them home.
Any reason you didn't used to come see? Just curious to come see?
Well,
they're up the road from me where I live.
Yeah, well, Briggs and Stratton they wanted a couple of bikes to test, so we sent them to them, and then they said, "Well, come on out here. We want to show you something."
Okay.
And I went out with my purchasing agent, and they had the bike set up there, and they started it up, put a strobe light on it. Boy, that engine was just moving all over the place.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that, and so we talked a bit. We flew back, and my purchasing agent said, "We better find another engine." And the next week we got a letter from them. They're not going to sell any more engines to the mini bike industry. Yeah, they cut out 100,000 engines.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's when we went to Tecumseh.
Okay.
And then we built that was like our first generation. Then we built another generation bike with suspension front and rear.
Okay.
And then a little later, a third generation with a 12-inch, a 10-inch wheel, and so on. And then I sold it out in 72 or 72.
Okay.
And this was a college professor, and there was a guy that ran a factory out in Kalamazoo.
Okay. Yeah.
Then they moved everything out there in just a couple of days. And
The professor didn't know what he was doing.
no,
He wasn't like the guy from Gilligan's Island, huh?
no, he wasn't. No.
So he kind of.
No, in 6 months they went broke.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And my younger brother bought it, and he owns it today.
Really? Okay. Well, we're going to do a buyback. Eh?
And then he made what I call it the fourth generation, and that's the
That's
one.
what we're doing here with the Springer Force.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah, it's a
right.
great mini bike. It's a great mini bike.
So that's all the.
And the good history of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, we know the Japanese bombarded the markets with their Hondas and so on and so forth.
Well, that was why we sold it. Well, we made 60,000 of them,
That's a lot.
and but we got out of it. The industry was going bad.
Yeah.
But that was because Honda brought in their Honda little mini bike,
Yeah.
and they were selling them below cost.
Yeah. Were they at the Z50? I know the Honda Z50 was a. I know that hit the market and hit it big, and then they started coming out with their mini cycles later in the
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
XR75, the SL70, stuff like that. But the mini bikes are just so great. They're fun to ride, low maintenance.
Yeah.
They're just fun. You get on them, low maintenance. They're fun. You can build them, you can ride them, you can take care of them yourself. I did a project with my daughter. We built our own mini bike, and she just loved it. It was a great parent-child
Oh yeah.
project. And so, Ray, I'll tell you what. That's what we know about the history, and we'll catch up on some more of the stuff, and maybe I will talk to Ray at another time about some little intricate stuff. Because you guys must have had a nice little factory, be able to put them out, jigs, everything set up,
Oh,
keep
yeah.
running them out, right?
Oh, we had a big
Pushing
factory.
them out,
We had at our peak, we had 100 employees.
Yeah. And so, quick about how many mini bikes would you make in a month?
Well, I don't remember. It was 3,000 or.
Yeah.
But now that was 55 years ago or so,
Yeah.
and now those mini bikes they're restoring.
Yeah.
We have a lot of customers come in that are 50 to 60, and they're saying, "Well, I couldn't have one when I was a kid
Yeah.
because my mom wouldn't let me."
Yeah.
Or they were saying, "Boy, I had one and I sold it. I wish I had it again. I'm trying to find it."
Yeah.
And restored, they're going for $2,000.
Yeah, I've seen them out in the market. They're good, but they're a great bike to have. You know, and they're beautiful bikes, and that was my issue. I come from a family of 10 kids, and so we had to work paper routes to be able to buy our own and stuff. You know, buy our mini bikes and stuff. But that's great. Well, I really appreciate it, Ray, and we'll talk some more, and get some more history in for you at some point in time. So. Thanks for watching. Please share with your friends and like the page what you see, and please share it. Thanks. Have a great day.